monoclonal antibodies. So it is also used for cancer treatment. As we know, the antibody or immunoglobulin IgE are the soluble protein that are produced in response to an antigen stimulus. Each B cell produces millions of antibodies against bacteria, viruses, and other foreign particles, and this type of antibody is called as polyclonal antibodies. So here notice AB means antibody, short form use here. AB means antibodies. When antibody producing cell provide more than one structural type of antibodies, then it is called as polyclonal antibodies. But antibodies lacking structural variation is called as monoclonal antibodies. So what monoclonal antibody means? It lacking the structural variation. Monoclonal antibodies are hybrid protein produced by selected engineered beta lymphocyte by using hybridoma technology. So monoclonal antibody is prepared by or is produced by using the technology that is called as hybridoma technology. So as we know, when there is a introduction or administration of any antigen in our body, it produces the antibodies. So beta cell produce number of antibodies against the virus, bacteria, but this type of antibody is called as polyclonal antibody. But there is an antibody which does not have any specific or which lacking the structural variation, then it is called as monoclonal antibodies, and this monoclonal antibody is a hybrid protein produced by fusing the B cell with myeloma cell by the using a technology called as hybridoma technology. Now, production of monoclonal antibodies by hybridoma technology. So, hybridoma technology. This technique is used for monoclonal antibody production against particular antigen, and it is used in cancer and as an anti-snake treatment. Basically, monoclonal antibody is produced by white blood cell called as plasma cell. Whenever an antigen enters in the body, especially extracellular antigen, the beta cell activated and it is converted into plasma cell, and finally this plasma cell secrete antibodies against that particular antigen. If we administer the antigen into the animal and that animal's plasma cell produce antibodies against that administered antigen, we can isolate plasma cell and cultured in artificial media, and in this culture media this plasma cell produce antibodies. But here the biggest problem is that the lifespan of plasma cell is very short, from few weeks to few months, and that's why we cannot produce antibodies for a longer time in culture media. So in hybridoma technology, this problem of short lifespan of plasma cell is overcome by fusing the plasma cell with cancerous cell called as myeloma cell. Myeloma cell is a cancerous cell and immortal in nature. So plasma cell in our body having the ability to produce the antibodies, but plasma cell having very short life. Therefore, we cannot produce the antibody for longer period of time. So to avoid this problem, hybridoma technology is used. In this technology, there is a fusion between the two cell, that is plasma cell and myeloma cell. Myeloma cell is a cancer cell which having immortal in nature, means it having the longer lives or immortal in nature. Plasma cell having short life, but myeloma cell, which is a cancerous cell, it is immortal in nature. So in this technique, we have to fuse one cell which have ability to produce antibody, that is spleen cell, with the myeloma cell which is immortal. So the new cell which is produced by fusing these two cells is called as hybridoma cell, and therefore this hybrid cell having the property of both the cell, that is it produce antibody as well as it is immortal in nature. So it is a basic principle of hybridoma technology. Now the actual procedure of this hybridoma technology. So first of all, antigen against to which antibody are to be produced are injected into the lab animal, and this lab animal generally mice. Since antigen is given intravenously directly into the blood, the antigen are trapped into the spleen of mice. Inside the spleen, antigen interact with the B cell and activate them to convert into plasma cell, and then this plasma cell produce large number of monoclonal antibody against the injected antigen. So in first step, antigen is administered into the mice. This antigen interact with the spleen and stimulate the beta cell to convert into plasma cell, and then this plasma cell produce the antibodies against the antigen. After this, plasma cell is isolated from spleen. So after this introduction or after the production of antibodies, the plasma cell is isolated from the spleen of the mice. Then second step is fusion. After purification of plasma cell, it is fused with myeloma cell, and this fusion is carried out in presence of PEG, polyethylene glycol, as a fixing agent. Here it is not necessary that plasma cell always fuse with myeloma cell because it is a random fusion. So in fusion, myeloma cell and plasma cell is fused in the presence of PEG, but it is not necessary here that each plasma cell fuse with myeloma cell. It is not possible. So here we get 5 types of cell in fusion. First one is, that is fused plasma cell, fused myeloma cell, hybridoma cell, unfused plasma cell, unfused myeloma cell. So in fusion we get these 5 types of cell, that is fused myeloma cell, fused plasma cell, hybridoma cell, unfused plasma cell, unfused myeloma cell. Among these 5 cells, we are only interested in hybridoma cell, and therefore next step is selection of hybridoma cell. So in fusion, these 5 type of cell produce, but we want this cell only, that is hybridoma cell. It is a combination of both hybridoma cell. So next step is selection of hybridoma cell. So next step of this hybridoma technology is selection of hybridoma cell. The selection is carried out on the het media. Het media means H for hypoxanthine, A for aminopterin, T for thymidine. So it is a combination of these 3 chemical that is called as het media, culture media. It is a culture media which having these 3 substance, hypoxanthine, aminopterin, T for thymidine. So as we know, whenever any cell divide into the daughter cell in artificial media, before dividing it must synthesize a new copy of DNA and for that it requires to synthesize nucleotide. So what do you mean nucleotide? Nucleotide is a combination of bases, that is purine base and pyrimidine base, plus sugar, that is ribose sugar, and phosphate group. So it is called as nucleotide. So in order to make a new copy of DNA, cell require new nucleotide. Now the nucleotide can be synthesized by two ways. There are two pathways by which cell synthesize nucleotide, and that first pathway is, that is salvage pathway, and second one is a de novo pathway. In case of salvage pathway, cell uses a degraded part of old nucleotide to produce new nucleotide. And in case of de novo pathway, completely new nucleotide are synthesized using small metabolite like sugar, amino acid, which are present in media. So there are two pathways by which cell synthesize new nucleotide for DNA synthesis, that is salvage pathway, and second one is de novo pathway. Salvage pathway means degraded part of old nucleotide is used to synthesize new nucleotide. And in case of de novo pathway, completely new nucleotide is synthesized by using amino sugars, amino acids, etc. So in case of het media, cell do not operate de novo pathway, and it is due to presence of aminopterin in culture media. So in case of het media, so here we carried out this selection in this het medium. So het medium contain aminopterin drug. So for a de novo pathway, it is important that dihydrofolate reductase enzyme should work. But in case of het media, cell cannot operate de novo pathway because of presence of aminopterin in het media. This aminopterin block the one important key enzyme, dihydrofolate reductase, which is the important for de novo pathway. Once this enzyme block, the cell do not able to operate de novo pathway. So here in case of het media, cell not operate the de novo pathway. Therefore there is only one option left for the cell in het media, that is salvage pathway. So in het media, de novo pathway is not possible, so cell uses salvage pathway. The cell can operate salvage pathway, but for this also one condition, and this condition is that cell must have one important enzyme, HGPRT. HGPRT, that is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. For operation of salvage pathway, the precursor is hypoxanthine and thymidine, which is present in het media. The plasma cell have this HGPRT enzyme, but myeloma cell not have this HGPRT enzyme. So for salvage pathway, the important enzyme is HGPRT is required. Plasma cell have this enzyme, but myeloma cell does not have this enzyme. So it is a basic. Now as we see, after fusion we get 5 different cell, that is fused plasma cell, fused myeloma cell, hybridoma cell, unfused plasma cell, and unfused myeloma cell. So as we know, plasma cell have HGPRT. So among these 5 cell, fused plasma cell and unfused plasma cell and hybridoma cell have HGPRT, while fused myeloma and unfused myeloma cell not have HGPRT. So when we put these 5 types of cell in het media, the cell which lack HGPRT, that is fused myeloma and unfused myeloma cell, will not grow in het media. So from this 5 type of cell, fused myeloma and unfused myeloma cell which does not contain HGPRT not grow in het media. So other three types of cell grow in het media. So another three type of cell, that is fused plasma cell, unfused plasma cell, and hybrid cell easily grow in het media. But the lifespan of fused and unfused plasma cell is very short, and within few weeks they automatically die. Then the hybridoma cell having HGPRT and immortal in nature, and it will keep growing in het media. It has no limit, and therefore at the end hybridoma cells survive in het media. In this way, hybridoma cell used in production of antibodies. So it is all about the hybridoma technology which is used in production of antibodies, that is monoclonal antibodies. So here there is a small video regarding the hybridoma technology.
Hello friends, this is Sajid, and in this video session we will learn about the hybridoma technology. So this hybridoma technology is used for the production of large number of monoclonal antibodies against a particular antigen. And these monoclonal antibodies are used for the different purposes. For example, in the treatment of cancer, and also as anti-venom, for example, anti-snake venom, anti-bee venom, anti-spider venom. Basically, these monoclonal antibodies are produced by a white blood cell, which is called as plasma cell. Whenever any antigen enters in the body, especially the extracellular antigen, the B cell or B lymphocyte get activated by it, and it is converted into the plasma cell. And finally, this plasma cell secretes the antibodies against that particular antigen. Now we might think, if the antigen is administered into the body of animal and that animal is going to produce plasma cell against that particular antigen which produces monoclonal antibodies against it, we can isolate this plasma cell from the lab animal and they can culture into the artificial media. And in artificial media, this plasma cell will produce antibodies for us. It is correct. The plasma cells can be cultured into the artificial media, but the biggest problem is that the lifespan of plasma cells is very short. It is from few weeks to few months, and that's why we cannot produce antibodies for a long time from culturing them into the artificial media. In hybridoma technology, this problem of short lifespan of plasma cell is overcome by fusing it by a cancerous cell which is called as myeloma cell. Myeloma cell, due to it is a cancerous cell, it is immortal in nature. So we have fused one cell which has the ability for production of antibodies and other cell which is immortal in nature. The new cell which is produced due to the fusion of these two cells is called as the hybridoma cell. And therefore, this hybrid cell gains the property of both cells. So this cell is going to produce antibodies as well as it is immortal in nature. Let us see the actual procedure of hybridoma technology. First of all, the antigen against which the antibodies are to be produced is injected intravenously to the lab animal. This lab animal is generally mice or any other mammal. Since the antigen is given intravenously, that is directly into the blood, the antigens are trapped into the spleen. Spleen is the secondary lymphoid organ. Inside the spleen, the antigen interacts with the B cell and activates them to convert into the plasma cell. Once the plasma cells are produced, they will secrete the large number of monoclonal antibodies against the antigen injected. After this, This plasma cell producing the monoclonal antibodies against our injected antigen, they are isolated from the spleen. After the purification of plasma cell, it is fused with the myeloma cell. The fusion procedure is carried out in the presence of polyethylene glycol, and sometimes electroporation can also be used. Since the fusion procedure is random, it is not like that the plasma cells will always fuse with the myeloma cell, and therefore at the end of fusion procedure, 5 different types of cells are produced, and they are fused plasma cells, fused myeloma cells, unfused plasma, unfused myeloma cell, and the most important, hybridoma cell. Among these 5 cells, we are only interested in the hybridoma cell, and therefore the next step is the selection of hybridoma. Selection is carried out on the HAT media, HAT. Here the H is for hypoxanthine, A is for aminopterin, and T is for thymidine. These are the contents which are present in the HAT media. See, whenever any cell divides in the artificial media, before dividing, it must synthesize the new copy of the DNA. And for that, it requires the synthesis of nucleotides. Nucleotides can be synthesized by 2 ways. Either the cell can go for the salvage pathway or it can go for de novo synthesis. In case of salvage pathway, cells uses the degraded part of old nucleotide to produce the new nucleotides. And in case of de novo pathway, completely new nucleotides are synthesized using small metabolites like different sugars, different amino acids which are present in the media. In case of HAT media, cells cannot operate de novo pathway, and this is due to the presence of aminopterin in the media. This aminopterin, it blocks one key enzyme which is required to operate the de novo pathway, and this enzyme is dihydrofolate reductase. Once this enzyme is blocked, cells cannot operate the de novo pathway. Okay. Therefore, there is only one option left for the cells in the HAT media, that is the salvage pathway. Cells can operate salvage pathway, but for this also there is one condition, and this condition is that cell must have one enzyme which is called as HGPRT, that is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. And for operating the salvage pathway, which have this particular enzyme, they can use the hypoxanthine and thymidine as precursor. Plasma cells have this enzyme, but myeloma cells don't. I want to remind you that 5 different cells are produced after the fusion procedure of plasma and memory cells. And these are fused plasma, fused myeloma, hybridoma, unfused plasma, and unfused myeloma cells. Among these cells, plasma cells have HGPRT, and so the fused plasma cells. Myeloma cells don't have HGPRT enzyme, and therefore fused myeloma will also lack it. What about hybridoma? In case of hybridoma, one cell is plasma, and therefore it will have HGPRT enzyme. Correct? Now, what will happen if all these 5 different kind of cells are transferred on the HAT media? Cells which lack HGPRT enzyme will not grow on the HAT media, and these cells are fused myeloma and unfused myeloma. The other 3 types of cells can grow on the HAT media, but lifespan of plasma and the fused plasma is very short, and within few weeks they will automatically die. No need to separately kill them. What about hybridoma again? It is HGPRT positive and it is immortal in nature. It will keep growing on the hat media. It has no limit. And therefore, at the end, hybridoma cells will survive on the hat media. In this way, the hybridoma is selected and used for the continuous antibody production. Hello friends, this is Sajid, and in this video session,
Now the example of that is monoclonal antibodies. So in that first example is rituximab. It is a monoclonal antibody available in market. It targets a protein called as CD20 on the surface of leukemia and lymphoma cell. Rituximab stick to the all CD20 protein it find, then the cell of immune system pick out the marked cell and kill them. So CD20 is a one type of antigen mainly found on the surface of the cancerous cell. So this antibody bind to this CD20 antigen and kill the cell. Uses: it is used to treat certain type of cancer such as non-Hodgkin lymphoma. It is a cancer of lymphocyte. Then chronic lymphatic leukemia, that is blood cancer. It works by slowing or stopping the growth of cancer cell. It is used to treat rheumatoid arthritis and can decrease the joint pain and swelling. It is also used to treat certain type of blood vessel disease and can decrease the swelling of the blood vessel. It is also used to treat certain skin condition like pemphigus vulgaris. It is a blistering and erosion of skin and mucous membrane. It helps to reduce the number of skin lesion. So it is the main use of this first type of monoclonal antibody available in market. Next example is trastuzumab. It is a next antibodies, trastuzumab. How it works? Some breast and stomach cancer cell have large amount of human epidermal growth factor called as HER2. They are called HER2 positive cancer cell. HER2 make the cancer cell grow and divide. This monoclonal antibody is a type of targeted cancer drug called monoclonal antibody. It works by attaching to HER2, so it stops the cancer cell from growing and dividing. It is a targeted cancer drug and also known by brand name Herceptin. It is the brand name of this monoclonal antibody, Herceptin. It is a treatment for cancer that have large amount of protein called as human epidermal growth factor, such as early breast cancer, advanced breast cancer, and advanced stomach cancer. Next, alemtuzumab. It is used for treatment of B-cell chronic lymphocytic leukemia in people who have been treated with alkylating agent and who have failed fludarabine therapy. So these mainly used for the patient which already use alkylating agent and fludarabine as a anti-cancer agent. It is unconjugated antibodies, though, to work via the activation of antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. It is used for relapsing remitting from multiple sclerosis. It is a disease of myelin sheath of brain or neuron. It is generally only recommended in people who do not respond sufficiently to at least two other multiple sclerosis medication. Next one is bevacizumab. How it works? It is a targeted cancer cell protein called as vascular endothelial growth factor VEGF. So it is also antigen present on the surface of the various types of cancer. This protein helps cancer to grow blood vessels, especially the cancer of blood vessel. On the surface of blood vessel, this antigen is present, that is VEGF. So they can get the food and oxygen from the blood. All cancer need a blood supply to able to survive and grow. This antibody block this protein and stop the cancer from growing blood vessel. So it is the starved and can't grow. Treatment that interfere with development of blood supply are called anti-angiogenesis treatment. This antibody is a cancer treatment drug and also known by the brand name Avastin. It is a treatment for many different types of cancer. Abciximab, it is another example. It is the indicator for use in individual undergoing precutaneous coronary intervention, that is angioplasty with without stent placement. Angioplasty means there is a recovery of blood flow. The use of these antibodies in this setting is associated with decreased incidence of ischemic complication due to procedure and a decreased need for repeated coronary artery revascularization in the first month following the procedure. Revascularizing means uh, recovery of the blood flow. The procedure which are used for recovery of the blood flow or which remove the blood clot so that blood flow normally. Research also shown that this drug can be used for patients with diabetes and chronic kidney disease. It is not the appropriate drug for choice if a patient is scheduled for an emergency surgery, because bleeding time may take about 12 hours to normalize. Pediatric use include treatment of Kawasaki disease, which is a proteinase deficiency disease. The next is Daclizumab. It is used to treat adults with relapsing form of multiple sclerosis. It is administered subcutaneously. In clinical trial, it shows 45% decrease in annualized relapse rate. Muromonab CD3 is approved for therapy of acute glucocorticoid resistant rejection of allogenic renal, heart, and liver transplant. Unlike monoclonal antibodies, Basiliximab and Daclizumab, it is not approved for prophylaxis of transplant rejection, although 1996 review has found to be safe and for that purpose. So it is another type, that is Muromonab. It is an antibodies mainly used for the when there is a transplantation of heart, liver, then antibody is produced. So for that purpose it is used. It also been investigated for use in treating T-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Next is Denosumab injection. It is used to treat osteoporosis. It is a condition in which bone become thin and weak and break easily in women who have undergoing menopause and who have risk for the fracture or who cannot take or did not respond to other medication treatment for osteoporosis. It also used to treat men who have increased risk of fracture or who cannot take or did not respond to another medication treatment for osteoporosis. Also used to treat osteoporosis that is caused by corticosteroid medication in men and women who will be taking corticosteroid medication for at least 6 months and have increased risk for fracture or who cannot take or did not respond to other medication treatment for osteoporosis. Also used to treat bone loss in men who are being treated for prostate cancer with certain medication that cause bone loss. It is also used to treat bone loss in women with breast cancer who are receiving certain medication that increase their risk for fracture. So it is about the some examples of monoclonal antibody which is available in market and having different uses and also used in cancer and other condition. So if the question will ask in exam, short note on monoclonal antibodies. So first you give the short about the production of monoclonal antibodies and then the give minimum 5 example of monoclonal antibodies which is available in market. So these are the example of monoclonal antibodies available in market for cancer treatment. So it is about the anti-cancer chapter. If you like this video, then subscribe the channel. Thank you very much.